Pegasus. This is the Pegasus Show live. Yes, we are back after a couple of weeks hiatus due to illness and various other things, and I'm pretty much over the cough now, so we can finally crack on with the live show. So welcome in, everybody. I hope you're all well. I'm just watching the screens flick over. Are we going to get the second one flick over, or is it just going to stay put? No, it's flick over. Hello. Can we get the second one flick over, or is it just going to? It's the blood. There we go. Forgot about the volume was still on that thing. So hi, welcome in, everybody. Just realised I've not actually put the chat up on my back screen yet, so I won't be able to see when people are actually messaging. So there we go. Live chat's on my screen now. So where are you all hailing in from today? Let me know. And here we go. We have first confirmation of an alteration that Scopely had to make to a character because of a player-friendly bug that they've actually decided they are going to keep, which is brilliant, the fact that Scopely decided they're going to keep this particular bug. And yes, this basically means that now all your loot officers will work against technological distinctiveness. So, hence the reason why I like just saying TDs. A hell of a lot easier. But anyway, so that really sort of like negated the below deck ability of Epic Fox here. So Scopely decided in their infinite wisdom that the best thing that they could actually do for this is actually change it. Hey Chris, welcome in, bud. Not long time no see. I ain't seen you flying around for a while. I ain't heard off you for ages. Hope you're okay, buddy. I think it's going all right at home. And work, of course. So, what does this new below deck ability mean? Well, in perfectly fairness, that is actually pretty good. That's brilliant, Chris. Great to hear. I had to drop you a message at some point. I will get round to it at some point. I do promise that. We'll have a catch up as well. But yeah. So looking at this, hey Keith, welcome in from server 201. Wow, you're on an Apex server. Welcome into the stream, buddy. I didn't know I had actually people from APAC watching me as well, so that's brilliant. So, whereabouts in the world are you from, Keith? So, Flux's BDA now is increasing the efficiency charging of your Borg Cube's cutting beam. Hey, Joe Egg, welcome in. Cutting beam by X%, and now it's starting off at 20%. Now, let's not make any bones about this. A 20% increase out at the start is actually a pretty decent start in this game, because we don't usually have much that starts at such a high percentage. I mean, topping out level tier 5 is 100%, which is brilliant. So which means basically if you end up with a 15, let's just say 15, a 15% charge rate, great, that's going to go straight to 100%. Using that, obviously, let's break it down for the 20% side of things. If we said, I don't know, New Zealand, how's the weather down there, Keith? I hope it's nice and sunny, more than it is here. I mean, obviously, we're approaching nighttime now, so a couple of hours away from midnight. But if we look at this from the perspective of, say, let's say 50, 20% is just basically going to add an extra 10% onto it. So that as much as that hostile is originally under base level is giving you that 50%, you can add that extra 10% on just using Flux. Now, I will just say that there is one little caveat I'm going to have to throw in here, which is watch your stats with the cube, because for those of you who, hey pets, welcome in. For those of you who know and are actually operating that cube, to actually try and get as much stats on below deck as possible is damn bloody hard. At most, at tier 7 with my officers, I can get 900%. But then again, I've got 4 slots open below deck, and it is usually mostly epics I am actually putting below deck. But what we can do is we can actually go and actually have a look at this. My monitoring's blown up. Let me just double check. Yeah, it was a sentry that killed me. That's absolutely fine. But if we actually put the bug cube on, where are we? There we are. So just realised my screen. I was wondering why I'm straining to actually see my screen. I'm having to use the screen at the back. But anyway, if we actually look at this one, so this, obviously I've been out doing Armadas today. As you can see, these are the stats that I've actually got just with this base crew. Hey Matt, welcome in, buddy. Oh, please don't start. So yeah, looking at this, I'd have to change. A predominant ops I usually end up chucking on is actually Grush. And as you can see, my Grush is maxed at level 30, tier 5, and he's just whacked all them up. He's just added that 450% to the attack and brought the defense and health up to 900%. So basically, it's just a case of just rearranging some of the other officers. So it's like we'll put Nero on. Oh, it's an attack I want, isn't it? So it's not that one. There we go. So we do that one. Still not quite 900%, so we don't want that. So, oh, yeah. Hang on. I can't bring an attack officer over from that ship at the minute because, right, because it needs repairing. So, nope, still not making 100% there. So as you can see, it's a bit of a balancing act. So using a tier 1 Phlox is probably going to make you stat stacking for your effective runs, really. Yeah, it's going to make it very hard to make those stats up as best as you can. But having that, ability to speed up your charge rate is actually going to be quite beneficial for players. I mean, that's what I generally see with it. Now, let's actually take the cube out for a run. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on what docker there. Here we go. So this was the primary crew that I used to use on on the cube. Oh, bloody hell, I've got to figure out what I'm doing. Hey, so put the Valdor in just briefly. So I don't want to assign officers. Swap there. Get officers on. Here we go. So we're not stored there. There we go. So that's ideally what I would normally run. So now I don't usually bother with Hugh below deck because Hugh's actually usually off on my primary PvE, but this is the crew that I usually standardly use on my Monavine just to send it out to do its auto grind. So I don't bother usually with loot or things like that. Just send it out and have fun. Let's see. Okay, so you get 1.7. That's fine. So we'll put a bit of mining in. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the cube out. And tell you what, let's get Disco out as well because we'll make this a little bit easier. Explorer. I wasn't expecting that image to appear at the beginning, so why do you keep crashing? Okay, so not fully ready for everything. So yes, and I know I'm not putting the right crews on, but that's just me. So if we send that one out there, use up a bit of go-go juice. And right, so now we'll summon the Borg cube out. Oh shoot. No, I don't want. Here we go. Right, so and at the edge of the system. So if we go up, if we get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the loot crew off. and how this bug is actually really benefiting players. I mean, most of you have probably already seen how well it's actually benefiting. So, I mean, there we go. We've got 49%, 44% there, 45%. So it's like using Flox's new below deck ability now. We are looking at a decent jump on that one. So, let's try and see if I can get the... there we go. Come on. Come on, play nice. Oh, I don't know. Bloody things. Oh, yeah, they are. They are going to leave this new bug in. Hence the reason why they've made the change to Flox, because it just didn't see... Because the original patch notes, obviously, what they said what Flox's ability was, it wasn't exactly good. Well, it was good, but it wasn't exactly top notch, and it's not like what you'll probably get now. So, here we go. This is the bog standard amount of technical TDs that I actually get for killing a level 49. Now, it doesn't matter what I kill. This is the bog standard that I will normally get. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the cube home, and then I'm going to change its crew over to the actual loot crew. I mean, Jesus Christ, 41 minutes worth of repairs. What would we do without speed ups? So let's get the officers, and we're going to go straight for the loot crew. So now, yes, my stats have dropped because obviously I'm not running the normal loots that I would normally do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull those epics over. Now, you'll notice I'm not using the Doctor because I'm going for as much stats below deck as possible. And usually 9 times out of 10, the Doctor is out on my primary PvE ship anyway. So normally he won't actually get the ability to come out and play with the Jem'Hadar along on the cube. So, I mean, it's nothing against holograms or anything, but mixing Borg and holograms is probably not the best idea. Well, in theory anyway. I hate paper straws. It's great McDonald's want to save the environment and get rid of all this plastic straws, but they don't half bloody really stick to the bottom of the bloody cup if you push them too far down. By the way, so right. So killing this one should click us onto 100, and then we'll kill another TD. And then what I'll do is I'll just send these 2 ships home by warp. So get that done. So if we jump on here, there you go. Hey Spartan, welcome in, buddy. So we've gone from 540, and bearing in mind, finally passed. Yes, I've been catching up. I've been seeing your comments on Rev Juice's live streams, mate. So it's good to see the fact that you actually got your ascension, and the fact that most of you blasted so far up already. I think half of you already at the next boundary, aren't you? I think. Yeah, you suck at 50 now. Yep, all of you shot up. So, unfortunately, you'll have to sit there for a little bit longer and play catch up. But anyway, so 540 TDs, and now we're just using not even a full loot crew. And adding the Doctor's 15% in there is going to be nice, but I'm not far off. 3 times the amount. That's a hell of a boost. A hell of a boost. So Now, obviously, you can tinker around with the various loot crews that there is. Like, just use one officer or two. Hull's going to fill up fast. Yeah, you can. Believe it or not, I can actually fill my cargo faster. Well, actually, not faster. Actually, no. Doing it this way, yes, it would actually fill my cargo faster, but I won't be getting as many of the antimatter units, because using the other crew, obviously with the antimatter units, I was getting quite a lot. I've got that much. I don't need to worry about antimatter units for quite some time. And this is the beauty of a tier 7 Borg cube. If any of you watching haven't got a tier 7 yet, this is the beauty of the tier 7 Borg cube. These antimatter units. You're doing this every single day. 24,000 is not my full pull. If I show you, if we can actually gain, if we've got a little eye to look into this, I think we have. The Bajorans always pretty damn good. No, it isn't. But the hostile exchange, so we'll have to go through this way. It is a happy mistake, Mark. Absolutely. And it's good the fact that they decided to leave it in, which is probably going to be one of the benefits that's come from this month. And it's definitely going to be it's definitely a thumbs up from the whole community and the content creators, of course. Where are you, antimatters? I know they've been ungraded. Have I gone past them already? I think I have, haven't I? I'm doing a Rev Juicy. I'm going straight past everything. Should be before Artifacts, because Bajoran came out before Artifacts did. Venom, Synthetic, Fleet Commanders. Okay, so they're not here. That's unusual. I'm sure they was in this tab. Yeah, they couldn't fix. Well, they could have fixed it. They could have taken the time to actually fix it, but they just chose not to. Yeah, maybe another. And I know for a fact if they are, they're going to be way down here. Where are we? That's all the Voyager crap. Why can't I find them? Have I passed them? I'm normally pretty good at spotting these things. Normally being the operative word. Today I obviously can't bloody see for bloody looking. Oh my god. Right. Directives. Ah, there they are. So, here we go. Finally found them. Jesus Christ, that took some bloody doing, didn't it? 8.1 million. And that's about 2.5 months worth of grinding every day. Missing 1 or 2 days in that period. 8.1 million. So this is another beauty with the Borg cube. And yeah, you're pretty much just using it to get all those TDs. So you can then go refinery to build up the memory shape alloys you need to upgrade the cube, but also get the extra stuff for the research. So as much as the Borg cube is a bit of a lemon, it's got its uses at specific points. So if you do have that tier 7 ball cube, you might as well use it to grind these antimatter units. There's no point in hiding from the fact that it's a lemon, and that cutting beam is an absolute pissing joke, but in certain aspects, it's actually got its uses. It saves me crewing up a PvE ship and going out there grinding it, because now I'm grinding for antimatter units and the TDs at the same time. I'm not just grinding for the one thing. So, absolutely a good way to build up some backstores. And I think that's another, what I would like to consider as a benefit for free-to-play players, because that means, obviously, you're not able to rush through everything. So, you've got time to build up all this backstock and everything. Obviously, there are certain backstocks you're not going to be able to tear ass through, and that's things like your materials and your resources if you're trying to blast through everything. I mean, it's like I've got 576 billion latinum there, but I know for a fact, as soon as I go Ops 51, I can blow all that on the Fisha. The Fisha will take me as a base level 800,000 parts, 730 billion titanium to upgrade. Now, with my research, the cost of the titanium will come down, but I can clear that titanium out quite easily, just upgrading my Fisha from tier 9 all the way through to tier 12. Now, the downside to that at the minute is I don't have the parts to do it. But, again, slow moving through the game, I've got time to build them up. I've got all my research to catch up on, and I'm slowly working my way through it. And then I'm going to have research which are locked behind specific buildings that I haven't actually upgraded yet, but they will get upgraded as and when I need to. Now, as I understand it as well, we've been given a compensation chest. I've seen a screenshot of what it is. Blur. They could have actually given us something a little bit more in this, like maybe a few extra shards of flocks, or, you know, maybe some blueprints towards NX-01. Would have been nice, but then again, I know there are a lot of players who've already got the NX-01, so. Now, here's a question for you all. What do you think of the amount of event store loot that you have received so far? Bearing in mind, we are 5 days into the event store. Hey Wayne, welcome in. That's a straight answer. I like that one. And it's a poop store. I wholeheartedly agree. It is a poop store. Now, obviously, for those talking about the ball cube, if you haven't got the ball cube yet, or you've not maxed out your blueprints on it, you can get the ball cube. The ball cube has been added. I can't see it because I have a ball cube. Scopely only wanted you to have the one free-to-play ball cube. So now, artifacts, yes, I do see some benefit with them. The one I primarily look at is the Syndicate XP. The ball cube one is another good one, but when we've seen the charts, which I did put up in one of my videos, excuse me, that I did put up in my videos, looking at the base value of what's being added, in all honesty, for me at tier 7, it's 500,000. It's literally 500,000. And if we actually look at one of my battle logs, here we go. For the first time, there's actually now to net I won. Yeah, exactly. If we look at the battle log, so you can see how much damage I'm delivering. Is 500,000 really going to make a blind bit of difference to me? For a tier 7, getting that particular artifact up to that lock point for a tier 7 ball cube Is $500,000 going to be worth it for me? Short answer, no, it's not. 3.6 million is a bloody joke to begin with. It is a joke to begin with. Because I like to go after hostiles 50 plus. No, and it doesn't work on PvP neither. It's PvE pure, that's it. But if I took that extra $500,000 and then I decided to go after, say, I don't know, I'll tell you what, right? The best way to show that particular bit off is we'll take the discovery and let's jump. Oh, for God's sake, you can't bloody reach. There we go, you can reach there, that's fine. So, I'll jump here. Then I'm going to call up a hostile, a level 49 hostile. So here we go, an explorer. And call its details up. Go to hull health. $500,000 added. Right? This is just under 6 million hull health. Just under 6 million hull health. So in all honesty, yeah, fine. It's going to take an extra $500,000 off its hull. Wow. Whoopee-doo. I still have to attack the thing twice. I still have to go after twice the amount of enemies to charge up my cutting beam twice, or if you're lucky to have the that refit, which gives you a maximum 200% charge, I've still got to hit it twice. So with that with that particular refit, I'm looking at does the punch-up tax also affect it? No. The punch-up tax does not affect it. It's just a base set amount. It's a base set amount. I take it the ship's just been killed by somebody. Oh no, I've just been shot, so that's absolutely fine. But yeah, that $500,000, it's not affected by the tax. But again, if I wanted to punch a level 50, I'm now going to be hit by the 10% tax. So I'm going to lose, what is it, 360,000. So basically, that just hitting that level 50 with that particular artifact, I've lost 360,000, but I'm adding $500,000 on, so that's an extra 140,000. So technically, I still boosted the amount of damage I'm doing. So I'm still not doing 3.6 million anymore. I'm doing what? 3,740,000. That is it. Now that's just off the top of my head, maths. I don't think it's affected by tax. I'm saying an absolute no, it's not affected by tax, because I want to believe that Scopely seriously cannot be that stupid to have it affected by tax. Considering that the community have all said this tax was a pissing joke, it should never have been brought in, I am seriously hoping Scopely didn't do that. Enjoy the loot, Angie. I'm seriously hoping Scopely did not make that artifact susceptible to the tax, because if they did, they clearly are not listening to the community, or somebody in game design who sorts these things out is not listening. My God, it's starting again. So realistically, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, no, it's not affected by tax, because I don't want to believe Scopely could be that stupid. I mean, anything is actually possible. Anything's actually possible. So, but you never know. Now, given the fact that I've just been popped, the OPC I understand, but the Discovery, I've got a funny feeling I'm being screen sniped again. So that's going to make doing the crew loadouts for the thing is a little bit more of a challenge. So, because obviously I want you to bring your crew loadouts for me about the silent enemies. Now, I've been running the particular crew loadouts that I said, like Enterprise, E, Picard, and Data, and Trip Tuck on the side. And obviously, I have to hit the 46s. I'm not being able to kill enough of them because of the RNG. Janeway, Doctor, and Data. Now, I think that's one I actually heard about as well. So that's one I'm actually prepared to try out. So let's get the cube repaired, because obviously I need Data. So, right, let's get that repaired. Right, so we've got Janeway, Doctor, and Data. So, using the same crew, but I do with the boost for the Cerritos on Titan. Yes, now that's one thing I was thinking. Groups. Oh, hang on. Janeway. And the Doctor. Now, it's unusual for me because I like putting the Doctor... Hang on, why am I doing it on this ship? Why am I doing it on that one? I want it on the Newton. Because I want the Newton's boost. So we want the Doctor on the bridge. And Data. And Janeway. So I'm going to take him off deck. Him off. So now... Oh, I better take her off as well. Now, I believe Tom Paris is also being floated around as an officer to put on below deck. And I believe Bellona was also being asked to be put on as well, but she's only tier 2 for me, so she's not really doing an awful lot. I can't guarantee that she's going to proc. So let's have a think about this. Tier 4, no. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, right, let's get some extra stats on the ship. And Grush. Trio? Who's Trio? I want to make sure that I can keep my stats. Oh, Troy. I want to make sure I can keep my stats quite reasonable. Yeah, it's dropping my stats down quite a bit. So, and my Troy's only tier 1, so increase 20% critical damage against hostiles. I need a better Troy. Yeah, it won't be surprised. So what I'll do is I won't bother with Troy. I'll stick with Grush just for the stat side of things. So I'm going to... Right, so I'm not going to run the Cerritos and everything just yet. He's only tier 1. Oh, I've only got 2. I didn't even claim the other ones from today yet. Oh, wrong one. So, right, let's get these claimed. So that's going to give us 4 runs in total. It's just a shame it takes so long to bloody travel. Now, the only crew loadout that I haven't actually tried of Scopely suggestions was Pike Moreau Tucker. It's the only one I've not actually tried yet. So, but Severus, Charbonnet, and I replaced Decius with 5 of 11 because I've been hearing that Decius does really nothing. He's more there for synergy. And I literally could only get 2 of the level 46s. That was it. It was a joke. ISO is king for 2024. Yeah. They're certainly making a play for all this damage, but it's like everything that they have released. And obviously, I said this in a video that this month I do feel the hostiles is everything that they brought into the game is aimed at trying to destroy critical builds. So the fact that now we've got to put more critical on, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that and how to feel. So right, so here we go. Going to enter the system. Come on. Right. So there's a 46 battleship there, so let's go straight in for it. One thing I found with the Severus crew, though, is I was able to kill like the first one relatively easy, take around about 10% damage, but then the second one, for some reason, absolutely bloody nailed me. Now, that's pretty good. Bear in mind that this has got no buffs. So I do actually like that particular one so far. So let's go against Triangle here and see how much extra damage I take. Okay, now I'm actually liking this a little bit more because obviously now I'm actually taking more. And the one mistake I did make in the video was I forgot to take into account that the extra loot that you get other than just the Temple Disruptor parts. So, okay, so this crew is clearly working pretty well. Let's actually chance it. Yes, I'm damaged, but let's chance it against a 49 and see what happens there. But I don't get as many. Okay, it's not too bad. So let's see how we do against the 49. And oh, that killed me. That literally took me out. So maybe the Cerritos and Titan buffs would actually be very beneficial. If I had the hull, I would have beaten it. But we went 12 rounds. So yeah, if we'd have managed to keep that down, I think we would have got through that quite easily. But no, I mean, this is definitely a loadout that I'm liking. And for me, it's kind of weird because I don't like putting the Doctor on the bridge. I prefer his value below deck to increase my loot. So, I mean, what is the Doctor offering? When you take hull damage from a hostile, the Doctor increases your mitigation by 300% of health. Hey, Johnny D. How high are the crits of this enemy in round 11? In round 11? Wow. Let's have a gander, shall we? Yes, so it's definitely the mitigation, and obviously trying to mitigate as much damage as possible. So the crit damage in round 11, if it pops, because bearing in mind these hostiles only have 100% critical chance for the first 4 rounds of the fight. So which means anything from round 5 onwards, is down to their standard 10% chance. So here we go. Critical damage here. Sorry, right there. On that red, 7.8 million. So that's there. 8.6. That one's only 8. So let's go into round 12. And he got an 8.4 before he blew me up. So, yeah, these are hitting pretty high numbers. Hey, Dave, welcome in. Night sound crazy, but is there an XCOM that might help a little bit here? Yes, there are a couple of XCOMs that could potentially help you out. And to be honest, I'm glad you actually mentioned XCOMs because I generally overlook XCOMs. I tend not to use them as much. But yeah, it would definitely be your damage ones. So if you go into combat, for me, I would be looking at using the battleship damage, and then you've got the standard damage ones. So yeah, I mean, it's like I could throw a couple of exacoms on to increase the amount of damage. Yeah, 200%, 50%, and I could throw on the 80% G3 one as well. So that gives me a total of what, 280, 330% extra damage. So instead of a 1,000 shot, I'd be throwing a 4,300 shot. So I don't know if I've just done the math quick off my head there. Yeah, 4,300 shot instead of just 1,000 shot. So yeah, it could be all right. What they could do with though is if we are going to think about exacoms, is probably think about a new XCOM that they could bring in, which would be a critical damage XCOM. So, and increasing your critical damage by, say, 300%, an XCOM which increases your critical chance to 100% in PvE, just as an idea here to help players out a little bit more. So, right, so does anyone else have any different crew ideas that they would like to see on screen? But it's like, this one is definitely one I'm keeping as a recommendation. If we can just get me off the screen to stay stuck, because I've just taken the book it was standing on. There's a prime for that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what they'll say. There is a prime and an artifact. But who's to say you can't have the XCOM? There's primes for damage. There's primes. Yeah, there's primes for damage. But yet they still got an XCOM. They've got artifacts and other research for damage. But they still have an XCOM. So for me, it's like, yeah, okay. Hey, Peg, with no XCOM with crit coming, they'll never give away free. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree. Scopely have to make money out of it somehow because they are robbing bastards, to put it bluntly. No, okay, right. That's just me being very cynical. Given everything this week that's happened in the UK in regards to money situations for people, I'm just sort of tarnishing Scopely with the same brush as our government. So, which is basically a bunch of robbing bastards. So what we've got here is we've got Janeway, Dark, and Data. And then obviously below deck we have Q, Paris, Tindy, and Grush. So that's that particular loadout. If there's any other loadout that anyone wants me to try, I'll gladly give it. Tier 8 Newton. I'm not a Tier 8 Newton yet. However, I don't have the materials to actually do it because I need... so what do we need there? We need 3, 5. So that's 7. And 7, 11... 11,500 rare ore. Yeah, I'm not going to get that this month. No way. If we had events with material payouts, other than the fact that the ticketed events are actually paying them out, which is good, I'm not going to hit 11,500 just to upgrade this to tier 8, but I do want to get it to tier 8. Your tier 8 Pylum is at 83 million. That's powerful, Span. How have you got it so powerful? I didn't realise it got that powerful. Oh, I'm not bothered about my operations at the minute, Tim. Literally, I'm not bothered. I'm quite happy to sit at 49 for the next 6 months to get all my research done. Ships are not high on the agenda, but this one will be. Getting this up to tier 8, tier 9 if I can. So I can definitely go after those 49s and not worry too much. But at the minute, I'm quite happy to sit at 49, plod away, and then go to 51, and then move on. MasterCard, most likely. Yeah. It's one thing I don't actually own. I've had credit cards before in the past, and yeah, got into a massive financial debt with them. So it's not one thing I tend not to do. So I had to actually declare myself bankrupt on it. Using what we have here in the UK is something for people in debt as a debt. It's called a debt relief order. Basically, we paid like 90 quid to get it going, and we didn't pay anything for a year, and then all your debt was written off. So I had to do that. So I wasn't happy about doing that. But 45 million Newton with Tile Crew can be used to do the highest level freebooters, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can definitely go after those freebooters. Not a problem. So let's have a look. So go with that. Okay, that's good. I should be able to reach that 260 system. 260, that level 6. Oh, there it is. Yep. So a couple of minutes, get there. Let's see how I do. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to put any buffs on. I'm not one for using buffs primarily. I usually use them against the solo armadas when I go around to doing solo armadas. But I mean, I don't know. So going after the silent enemies, I might decide to actually use it then. That's where I get my Newton blueprints from, the 60s. Yeah, I mean, when I usually do my freebooters, I usually use the 53 system, and I'm looking at the drops for the Newton. It's like less than 1%, but still, those extra Newton blueprints for me will be more beneficial. I won't linger for too long. 53 Russian. Wait to see you there then. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll eventually be at 53, but it's like I want to get all that research up to date first. I mean, if anything, for definite, get it unlocked. I mean, the one thing is though, Tim, if I will say, because obviously, Tim, with you being in my alliance, for Ops 49 players in our alliance, we are the most powerful 49s. You're more powerful than me, so which means I know you've blasted through a lot more research than me, but me and you are the top 49s. We're in amongst the early 50s in our alliance in power-wise. So I don't know if that's one thing you've checked out or not, but I do, because I like to keep an eye on that a little bit. So we'll need to get the Visa Prime out. If you want to break that Visa Prime, you can do. I'm not. Me and the missus had an argument because I once bought a $100 pack in this game, and I didn't discuss it with her. So yeah, I'm not keen to have that argument again. We stuck at 50 for like 6 months, right? I'm not quite sure how long you're going to be stuck there, Spartan. But now, if this is not evidence that I'm being stream sniped, I don't know what is. Just to get their 5 seconds of fame. Oh. Just to get their 5 seconds of fame. So I'm not even going to be able to get a chance to even look at that because they're going to be sat there waiting for me to come back in. So, yeah. This is the one thing when you're at war. I suppose now because they've been doing war for 4 years on Red server that most of them just don't even bother with it. So, but hey ho, it is what it is. So now, women don't understand. Yeah, exactly. I know that one. Yeah, I do know that one. So, and obviously the worst thing is tomorrow is we've got Mother's Day, haven't we, tomorrow? So that's interesting. Having to go out and sort that out today. I don't have the issue. You can swipe away. Yeah, I mean, if you're able to swipe away, you're able to swipe away. I mean, that's brilliant. So now, let's actually look at the event store. Are you still in the same war or new one? Oh, still in the same war. We're still in the same war. So, but yeah, I'm still at the point. I just send my ships out. I don't give a rat's ass. If I get shot down, I get shot down. So it's clearly they've got nothing better to do. So, but anyway, so looking in here, then that we've got this in here. So as I said, the board cube has been put in for those who haven't got the board cube yet. But it's nice to see as well that they're giving players a chance to at least get half the amount of blueprints towards the never-ending war. No, I do see an end coming to it at some point, but when that will be, I'm not sure. So yeah, at the minute you could talk about it as a forever war, but I mean, if it's a never-ending war, it's a never-ending war. But that's the way the game is. So some players like it, some players don't. So I mean, just be thankful we're not on APAC or the US servers. So because they absolutely love fighting each other all the time. So, well, that's the impression I've got anyway. So, but anyway, yeah, so players now obviously able to gain at least half the blueprints of the Monavine. So if you are working towards your Monavine still, you've got a chance to get as far as you can. Use the store for officers only. Officers are where it's at. Yeah, they are. And there's only 2 officers that I still need left to unlock. And surprise, surprise, they are the 2 rares. So, and I'm not holding out hope that I'm actually going to get Hoshi Sato unlocked this month, but hey ho, we'll have to wait and see. So now, what else have they added to the store? That they've added the Mantis, which is good to see. They've added the Defiant, Voyager, which is good as well. And obviously the Titans come in, and I can actually see my epics as well. So for those of you who haven't seen the cost of the epics yet, there you go, 7,200, and you can get 10% of the blueprints in total. So I did do the math for this one. I can't remember what it was now. 7500 times 6. Oh, hang on, 65. Oh, for God's sake. It is a scam. 487,500 just to get all that. Now, I guarantee you, is free to play, you are not going to end up with 487,000 yeah, Timmy, that's what I was originally planning. But the one thing is with the release of these new silent hostiles, a lot of players are saying that they are struggling to hit the hostiles that they need to hit because they haven't got the ship. So it's like they're G3 uncommons, they've got them up to a reasonably high tier, but they can't kill too many of those level 55s. So it's a case now that Scopely, are they actually pushing us to get a ship of any type at each point? So in this case, do I need to actually get this? Well, yeah, it's going to be a while before I hit 53, so a new ship would probably be beneficial. Yeah, I mean, exactly, Spine. You're being locked there, you're going to have time before they open up G6. Oh, yeah, my neuter's definitely going to be enough to take me up there. But it's a case of, am I going to get enough of this new loot to get me up to the G5 uncommons? Hey, David, welcome in. No interest in the continual new grinds. No, I totally get that one. I mean, we are literally, well, just on Tuesday when I did the patch note video, I was thinking 3 loops in 3 months, and then obviously Rev on Wednesday turned around and mentioned 4 loops in 4 months. Wave Defense was released in December, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's literally 4 loops in 4 months. I'm struggling to keep on top of my dailies mixed in with my real life, and there's a lot of times I'm just not in the game for hours. Depends on your level for the new grinds. Yeah, I mean, some are poo. Yeah, they are. They are poo. And luckily, as Rev Juice actually also mentioned in his live stream, this new one that they've just dropped this month is one you don't really need to actively engage with. You could just do it as a standard as your dailies. Yeah, just do dailies and Zinni. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I like to keep on top of the Borg for the refinery to get my independent credits, and the Borg Solo Armada so I can actually get all the Fleet Commander stuff. No, I've got to admit, Dave, that the game does seem more like a boring job at the minute. It's the same old, same old. So, but it's like things I can't even keep on top of is my Voyager. I keep forgetting certain aspects of mining I need to do. Mine G5 in territory to stock up for the future. Yeah. I mean, I definitely going to have to switch to doing some of that at some point to get all the G5, or I'm going to need 1 for the buildings and 2 for the Vorcha that I'm aiming to go for as my G5 uncommon. So, because it's like I'm looking at the Vorcha first, then the Sanctus, and then the Enterprise D. I'm the only one where I can't find any prime cannon is actually the G5 rares. But obviously I'll need 1 of them before I get the epic. So Voyager once a week, Talios once a week, sitting on 100 million raw G5 ore now. Nice. Yeah, I try to do the Voyager one every few days, not every 3 days. I mean, the most I've managed to get up to is like 10,000 deuterium canisters. And I have to jump between 2 systems to get all the 8472 to spawn, because it takes me about 2 or 3 runs to do it. Not to mention killing some of the elites as well to get all the extra loot off that one. But there's an awful lot to do in this game, and you do sort of like to keep on top of as much as you can. You do all your mining in token space. Yeah, I thought I'd take a chance of doing some mining in token space, and then they decided to actually spot me in there and pop me a couple of times. So, yeah, I don't mind losing the odd couple of thousand, tens of thousands. But when it comes to like a couple of million, yeah, I'd rather not sacrifice that much loot. But they did have optional content. Had they did optional content, that would be a brilliant idea. David, technically it is all optional. It is all optional if you wanted to do it or not. You don't necessarily have to do every single loop. Now, yes, they are all, in one way or another, interconnected. They are all interconnected in one way or another. Sometimes it could be multiple steps to take it to the same place, but the ultimate goal of every single loop as part of their connection is progression. It is progression. So some people do have the mentality that they have to do it. It's just verse 4 months of new loops. Yeah. I mean, it's like wave defense. It's not one thing I've not actively partaken in the last 2 weeks. I've not actively done it because it's just an extra thing I've got to try. It's just an extra thing I've got to try and squeeze in with my doing my PvE grinding, my Borg bits or Voyager bits or freebooters or this, that, and the other. It's like making sure that I've got the ships and the crew crewed out, but then again, some of the crew or the odd ship is out doing this, that, and the other. So it's something you can't actively keep on top of. And then throwing the max. Okay, Tim, no problem, buddy. This is not quality over quantity. No, it's not. And even Rev has said this one. It's not quality over quantity at current. It's not. But let's not forget this. And this is not me in the way of defending Scopely. This is just the way it works. It takes 12 to 18 months from the idea popping into somebody's head over a digit at Digit in Ireland to that idea being accepted at a board meeting where they've drawn it out on some whiteboard with a black marker. They sat there, done all this, made their pitch about the idea. Then somebody's got to sit there and go, yeah, okay, what money can we make out of this? Well, we can make this and this and that. And they've got to have that financial background to it. So if we did this, it can make this and this, and this is the idea. They've got to add in all that to eventually then sit down with the storyboard and then draw it all out, what they want to do, plan it all out step by step. Then they've got to hand it over to engineering or whoever it is who codes it all and builds it all in the game. So then they've got to then do all that for it then to go through. And this is the bit where you're all going to laugh and say, yeah, come on, Pegasus, this doesn't happen. It's got to go through quality assurance, the QA, make sure it works. Yeah, okay, whatever. Before it enters the game. There's no long-term plan with Star Trek Fleet Command. No, the way things are dropping, it really looks like it's not. Strange New Worlds was the perfect example of that. How they just literally rammed a load of stuff together. It was all quickly done for the launch of season 1 of Strange New Worlds on Paramount Plus. So, but effectively, it takes that long. Now, I'm happy with loops in the game. I am happy with loops in the game. But there must be a way for everybody to complete it, at least free to play. Now, I've not been able to play the game yet, Star Trek Online. But from what I see, and at the minute, hey, One Life, welcome in, buddy. At the minute, Star Trek Online is going through their own problems. I've just watched a video from one of their content creators this morning, apparently where they are having big, major bug issues, which is really pissing a lot of seasoned players off who will spend in the game. Similar to what's happening over here at the minute. But the creators of Star Trek Online, Cryptic Studios, are undergoing a merger with Decade. So God only knows what's going to happen with that. But the one thing, Star Trek Online don't drop new loops or new content every month. They drop it once every so often. I'm happy with that in this game and just adding small bits just to tide players over in this game. Now, yes, okay, Star Trek Online is a major game because you've actually got where you can beam down to planets and run around the planets and interact with other people and players, and there's a lot of audio speech and everything. It's really massive. And it still takes a fair whack of money. But they don't do loops every single month. They don't add big content every month. Yes, when they drop a loop, they'll drop ships, they'll drop officers, they'll drop the missions, and excuse me, they'll drop everything in one go. Whereas here we drop it over 3 or 4 months. So, but effectively everything is supposed to be planned out. So basically everything that they are dropping in 2024 is a product of being designed and built through 2023 into 2024, because some of it's still, that's going to be dropped later this year. It's not even been built yet. It's not even been built. So anything being released next month should be going through the QA session this month. The beta testing should have been done back in January for it. January, February. So, and then the quality assurance to make sure it all finally works together, done last month, where we were in March now. So yeah, back in February, ready. Also, actually, should be doing quality assurance this month, ready for it dropping next month. But logically speaking, that's where you think the idea would be. But what we're seeing in the game is we're seeing the content's coming into the game and the quality assurance from, well, the way it's coming across, the quality assurance is only being done, say, like the final week of March or the week leading up to its actual release in the game. All right, Spartan, you too, buddy. So it's the release into the game. All the QA is only being done during that final week. No, this should be taking longer to actually make sure it properly works. Because bearing in mind, they are dropping it onto 200 servers. They're actually putting it on their servers, which are then being transmitted to the client servers like Google, iOS, Apple. It's going to their servers before it comes to our devices. With the exception of the PC and the Mac, which I think, I'm not 100% sure, goes direct from Scopeless servers straight to the PCs because they don't need that intermediary amount of servers. Since freebooters, grind's gone up tenfold. Close to tenfold. But yeah, I mean, freebooters was the... I mean, even Rev said this. Freebooters was the perfect thing to bring into the game. And then when they dropped Delphic Expanse in January, they said this was the expansion to freebooters. And really? Really? But no, I mean, the one thing is players have been complaining for years now. Last couple of years, if not long, pretty much, we'll say anywhere up to 4 years. And they drop little nuggets every now and again of what players are asking for. But ultimately, when it comes to the grinds and the loops, they are not listening. It really comes across as they're not listening. And I know you all watching my show now will be feeling the same. I feel it. I don't feel like they're listening to the players. I mean, we're all saying this event store's poop. I'm looking at it thinking, really? Really? I'm at the point, I'm considering a fourth Meridian, for God's sake. But it's like my mind's just so overloaded with how incompetent and useless and pathetic Scopely are being about, for all intents and purposes, selling their product. And I've said this before on a couple of streams. If you want people to buy your product, to spend on your services, you need to keep them going. You need to make sure they're good. You can't sell a kettle to somebody, let them get home and find it doesn't work and not expect them to come back and demand their money back. You can't. If they get home and find that kettle's faulty, they are going to bring it back. A duck in a brothel. Okay, that's a new one. But yeah, so they'll bring that kettle back to the shop and demand their money back, even if they spent $5. Now I'm just going on the aspect that most of my viewers at the minute are actually in the US. $5. Even if you spent $5 on that kettle, you're going to go back to the shop and you're going to demand your money back. Tell me I'm wrong. If you took a kettle home and found it was faulty on the first go, are you not going to go back and demand your money back? I would. But then again, here in the UK, that £5 that means a meal for my family. So I'm easily going to demand it back. But it's the same with this game. We know there are problems. Now, no online game is perfect. There's going to be some form of lag somewhere. There's going to be a bug somewhere. But to the high level we have it at in this game, beggars belief, and then they still want us to spend $100 on a pack. I don't even think E.T. was that stupid when he came to Earth and got marooned on Earth. I don't even think he was that stupid. But then again, he was smart enough to say, phone home. I want to go home. I don't want to stay here. But, I mean, I could rabbit on and rant on about it. But effectively, everything that we're going to receive here in 2024 is already in the pipeline. So we can only hope some of the stuff that they were coming out with, that they've already put into motion for designing, building, checking, releasing, is going to make that the rest of the year is actually going to be quality. But, like the rest of you, I'm sure, when you read that roadmap that said quality over quantity, how many of you laughed at that bit and said, yeah, right, whatever? Because I did. But the game has been a D grade in 2023-24. Yeah, it is. At the minute, it is at a low. But again, I've said this before, it's a catch-22 for the players. It is a catch-22. Because the only way Scopely want to make money out of this game. So the only weapon players actively have to force Scopely to do something is money. That is it. It's the only weapon we actually have. And there's also actually playing the game, participating in the loops, and yeah, just generally doing the stuff that they give us to do. But yet, if we stopped playing, if we stopped spending, there is nothing stopping the board at Scopely when they look at their quarterly returns and say, oh, Star Trek Fleet Command's not making a lot of money. What's going on here? They're going to ask questions. David Ecclesbury's really going to have to explain to the board what's going on. Question is, does he fully understand what's going on? We don't know. We don't actually hear off David except for these videos like what DJ did at Christmas. That captain's log, the very first captain's log that Eco did, was it about a year ago now? See, only 2 times we've actually heard off David Ecclesbury, the general manager for the game. But does even he understand what's going on? I'm sure they don't play the game. Some do. Some do play the game. And now, let me see. It will never has happened though. Okay. Sorry, Wayne. I'm sort of like in 2 minds. I'm trying to figure out what it is you were saying and to which bit. But I'm trying to be politically correct in what I'm about to say, so I'm not going to offend too many people. The Irish are stubborn and prideful. Digit is in Ireland. Obviously, there is another aspect of the game for Scopely in, is it Madrid? I think it's in Spain, in Madrid, I think. But Digit is in Ireland. Digit is the one who originally created this game. Scopely bought it off them. So Scopely became their managers. And in Ireland, they're going to want to make a good, decent game. They want to do this, that, and the other. But it's like having a manager who does not listen to what you're telling them. The manager has his own ideas what he wants to happen. He wants to see his ideas come out. And he's expecting the team to do what he wants them to do. And he does not give a rat's ass about what they say. Now, yeah, you can still say that there are some people in game design whose Wales will be Wales. Yeah, they will be. But the one thing is that with that rain is when throwing it in, even they are getting pissed off. Look what happened, was it earlier this month? Boba Joe left. Boba Joe left. Because he's had enough. But it is going to come to that point. But circling back onto the mentality at Scopely, they got managers and members on the board who don't give a shit. All they want is this game to perform well and make lots of money. And if it doesn't, they don't care. They generally do not give a shit. So when players will stop spending or they'll stop actively engaging in the game, the board of directors at Scopely will look at it and go, what's going on? Why is this happening? Oh, well, they're not playing because the game's got that many problems and they want us to fix it, but we're too busy releasing new content. Okay, well, try releasing this, and this into the game. See what happens. Next quarter. Well, that's not worked. What can we do? Permanent maintenance. And that'll see the end of the game. If they see money drop and activity drop off a cliff, they will simply just turn around and say, it's not worth it anymore. And they will end the game. The board will have no qualms with doing that. Because all the board of directors, higher management are concerned about is how much money they can make. That is literally it. So it doesn't matter how good intentions, game design, the people who actually design the stuff to put in the game, doesn't matter how much the engineering department do, if their management are not going to listen. So yeah, we can blame engineering and everything. We can blame game design for poor loops and, well, multiple loops and poor design of content. But it comes down to the management. And I'm going to throw this out here for the UK side of things, players who might understand this if you follow football or, in American parlance, soccer. The team, right, I don't like this team, but they are the perfect example. In fact, two teams, Manchester United and Arsenal. Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger. I'm an Arsenal supporter, so I will just put that out there. Two managers who knew what they were doing. Okay, and I'm going to throw in another North London football team, Chelsea, under Mourinho. Managers who knew what they were doing. They had the vision. They had the sense to know what they were doing. They knew how to lead their team. Through the 90s and the early 90s up until his retirement, Manchester United was one of the best teams in the UK. Arsenal was right behind them with Arsene Wenger. Arsenal actually had that unbeaten season of 49 straight games unbeaten. Manchester United never achieved that one, but Manchester United did better than Arsenal with the treble. I think they did the quadruple. United under Alex Ferguson was brilliant because Ferguson was a manager. He knew how to lead. He knew what to do. Mourinho for Chelsea knew what he was doing. But does the management at Scopely actually know what they're doing about retail? Do they know how to sell a product? Do they know how to encourage players to come in? Well, throwing a spin in this, they must be doing something right because apparently we're still getting loads of new players coming into the game. Or better yet, a lot of the older players are going back and starting the game again where the content's actually fun. So you do have that, but ultimately, yeah, sorry, bud. What was I thinking? You just threw me there, Chester. Hey, welcome in. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of new players coming in, but they still don't solve the problem. Lag, bugs galore. There's not a lot you can generally actually do, but just work your way through it. But like I say, the only two ways that we can fight back is stop playing the game, stop spending. But we do that, they'll just get rid of the game. So players are in a catch-22. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't spend a lot of money in the game. I know there's a lot of whales who do. And they obviously generally want to pay for the game. Hey, Card, welcome in, buddy. They want to play for the game. They want to pay. They want to do this. They're prepared to spend $5,000, $10,000 on this game. But Scopely are not giving them a reason to. Or if anyone's business inclined, think of it as an investment. Those whales are investing in this game because they're spending. So that money then goes to help build new stuff in the game, pays the staff, keeps the lights on. If you don't invest, there's no point. So, but anyway, we're rabbited on about that long enough. I'm sure there'll probably be another run at that one. So, but yeah, so quick. Where was we at? Was at the Tribune, weren't we? So we've got the Hectare, boring sarcophagus, Vidar for anyone who wants a Vidar. But that's just, even this is not really, you know, saying like, yay, come and get it. Anyone wants an extra amalgam for your base raiding? You got a chance to go get it as well. But again, you've got that in the Cosmic Cleanup that's running right now. Officers, yeah. 4. But like I say, these 2 rares, Shrana and T'Pol, I haven't got yet. But the other 2 I have got. And for me, looking at the silent enemy, I would be looking at trying to get Trip up to tier 2. Unfortunately, for getting 75 shards for me on this one, so just do that times 75. I'm still looking at 450,000. I don't even expect to hit that. I'm already 6,000 short just from SMSs because there was a couple of events I just totally forgot to complete, or I couldn't complete because in the video for the silent enemy I wasted all those tokens, didn't I? So yeah, if you want a second Botany Bay, to be honest, I barely mine with a Botany Bay anymore. I barely do that. Literally, I think I send it out about once or twice a month. That's it. It doesn't go out very often anymore. So, and obviously with the war being in augment space at the minute is a little bit risky. So I just make sure it's a protected cargo on, and if it gets blown up, it gets blown up. Now, ship parts as well, I will say that they have thrown in the extra things for, like, if you decided you were going to build another Talios. So you can upgrade a second Talios. You got the parts for the Cerita, for the sarcophagus, the Titan. So, yeah, it's nice. And the fact they've added Voyager parts in is if you wanted to get ahead, if you are at your level lock for the Voyager, get ahead on your parts if you want. Anything else special? The Monavine parts as well. Mantis parts, and memory shape alloys for the Borg. So if we just take a quick look at the price on that one. So 75,000 will get you 5.5 million. Okay, not too bad. Not really going to do much for me. I've got a better chance of getting more than that, saving up over the next God knows how long. Ship refits. Now, there is one in here that I can actively say is going to be beneficial for this month at least, if you haven't got it, is this. 225,000 credits, and this can be yours. Because it increases your critical damage by 25%. And all you need to do is get it, unlock it. That is it. You don't need to do anything else. And then every single one of your ships will have an automatic 25% boost to critical damage. So that could actually be beneficial here. And against the Zindi hostiles, when you finally get that critical damage floor of yours up to a decent level. So, but other than that, the rest of the refits, I don't see much value in them, in all honesty. Now, as well, they did add a cloaking section in for the cloaks. The one thing is, like, I'm looking at the G4 cloaks for, like, the Coronar and the Pylum. But again, these are expensive, and I need 80 shards. So, so if we bring the calculator out again, just for this, 5600 times 80, 448,000. So, yeah. Now, technically, yes, this would be good for me to go get the Pylum's version of the cloak. So obviously when I do finally decide I'm going to go hunting the war a little bit, I can sneak up on some players. But in all honesty, yeah, the only thing that I'm happy the fact I actually got the cloak on, believe it or not, is the amalgam. So, but then again, even the amalgam cloak is cheaper. So, I mean, how many shards do we need for that? 80 shards? So, yeah, you could easily do the amalgam cloak, not a problem. But, I mean, in all honesty, right, this is good. I use, if I choose to raid in joint incursions and they're actively defending, it's great to send the amalgam in. If it gets in and gets into the base, brilliant. And then cloak it straight away, get that loot back to my base. So it's a good little tactic if you ever want to consider that, if you haven't even thought about that idea before. But yeah. Special currencies pretty much holding the same thing. Resource materials are just a waste of time. And throwbacks. So yeah, if you are into all these, so there are a few nice ones. The Black Alert, Herogen, House of Martok. Yeah. So as you can see, there is a few. And also at the end there's that good old Doomsday. Those worms that are bigger than a system. I gotta admit, there's been some good content released into the game, but then there's just been some you look and think, what the fuck was you thinking? Like the Mega Cube. A cube that's 100,000 light years across. That's the whole galaxy. But, yeah. You've got to wonder what goes through someone's Scopely's head. But circling back to like the comment that's Scopely don't play the game. Some of them just don't understand Star Trek lore. So, but yeah. So that's the event stories. It is pretty crap and pretty mundane. The Amalgam Cloak is free to play at the Amalgam Refinery. All right, okay. Thank you, Chester. Thank you for that one. Yes, it is. It is actually free. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's because I've not done that loop in ages. Yeah, I've not done that loop in ages. So jumping in here. Yeah, that's where I got mine from at the end here. So you're obviously going to need all these lovely trackers. Why get something from the event store you can get free from the refinery? Yeah, exactly, Coffers. Joffrey's. Messed your name up again, Anna. Joffrey's, that's it. I will get it. I will get it. But yeah, I totally forgot about this because, like I say, it's been a long time since I've actually done it. So, but yeah, if you wanted to get that one, then you can get it from there. It is actually beneficial. It is actually beneficial, especially for territory. Especially when you're at war, you can sit it in your territory cloaked using the Baitor with full synergy. I can get about 26 minutes of cloaking time. So at least I can get my points. That's if I remember to recall it in time. So, but yeah. Just trying to think now. Artifacts. So, right. Have we got enough? Right, so I've only got 3,000, so I'd have to go to that system again to do some more. So is there any other crews that people would like to see have me try on those silent enemies? So I'm going to leave this one till morning. It's nice that the fact they've added them. It's just a shame you're not always guaranteed to get one on a pull. Typical Scopely, really. But as well, yeah. Now, I see the benefit of this one. 300 know the best ways always. Just ask us. Yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, you you blame Goff for everything. Yeah, why not? Well, yeah, I mean, Chessline, yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, you are a PvP alliance, so a lot of you do prefer to fight. But I want people's opinion on this one. Now, I understand its benefit, and I do see the benefit. Reducing the amount of shards for all the artifacts. But again, even the other artifacts is not a loop that I'm actively participating in because it's the formation armadas. And I haven't got time to send ships out there. I blame Wayne. With a name like Wayne, you know he's as bad as egg. Okie dokie. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to know people's opinion on this one. I mean, do you see a lot of value in having up to 25% off the amount of shards? I mean, yeah, I mean, every saving is brilliant. Just eat my donuts. Nice. Go on and pass on that one for do the first. Hang on, pass on that. Going for the do one first. XP one. Oh, the stone memory. Yeah, now obviously that's the one that I actually do like the look of. So, I mean, let's go into the artifact gallery itself rather than here, because you don't get all the facts and figures with that one. Come on. Do. Right, so it's a rare, isn't it? Right, so this one, I mean, I do see a fair bit. Oh my god. Seriously? It's like, serious? I don't think I've got the don't think I've got the particular screenshot for it. Ah, there we go. That's the one. Right. So here we are then with the charts for all the particular. Let's get rid of that date. Obviously, this is all the levels which are actually put in correctly. Okay. I'm guessing that's an in-alliance joke there. So the Stone of Memory then, obviously, the artifact gallery you're going to need just to unlock it, obviously, is 38. Then level 2 will be level 40. And obviously, starting off with an increase of just 1,200. Well, I mean, for me, at level 31, I do a 750 every single day. So adding 1,200, that's going to take me to like nearly 2,000 a day just on that. Obviously, I do have all my other Syndicate XP pools, like my dailies, the... Which refinery is it I do it off? Mantis, the Mantis refinery. I don't bother with the Section 31 one because then I've actually got to do wave defense. So that's just adding another grind into my day, which I don't generally have time for. So I'm just doing the dolomite particles out there for now to work on those particular researches. But the Stone of Memory definitely has a lot of value to it. I mean, even taking it up to tier 8, where I'm getting a 350 increase. So that takes me to about 3,100 a day. Absolutely. But obviously it's going to take me a long time. It's going to take me a while to get there. I'm probably looking around about 2-3 months, something like that. 2 or 3 months just to actually get up to level 8. So, I mean, in all honesty, that's not particularly too bad. But as well, I mean, it was mentioned about the Borg cube earlier. If you would take a look at the Chronoton sample for the tier 7 one, 500,000. Like I said, is that really going to benefit me in any way, shape, or form? Literally not. So, but yeah, I mean, the higher tiers, maybe. I mean, what is it, 50 million at tier 11? But again, I need to be a G5 player. And what is it? I need a G5 rare. G5 rare to get this. So hang on. G4 epic at the 8 and 9. Uncommon 10. Yeah. So yeah, G5 rare for the tier 11 cube. But then again, that's when the cube actually comes into its own properly, and really is actually quite good. But again, that's a long way off for me. But looking at where it is at the minute, 500,000, just absolutely not even worth it in the slightest. So, and then obviously, looking at the, quickly looking at the Great Eye of Ara there. Yeah, so tier 8's 9%, so 9% reduction. It definitely just seems like the eye really becomes into its own and more beneficial when you actually get into that blue section and go for the remnants. Because as we can see there, it's going to 10, 14, 18, and then a whopping 25%. So realistically, in its early levels, it's not really worth that much. But again, then you've got to be, you got to need Artifact Gallery level 55 just for the just to start the remnants on it. So realistically, for me, a 9% reduction in shards is not going to. Yes, fine, it's going to be a saving. It is going to be a saving. There's no questions. Every little helps. But is it worth me investing all those shards into it now to get that small reduction? Or would it be easier for me to work on something else that's going to be more beneficial to me game, like the Syndicate XP, where I can get it up to that tier, level 8 and the 2,300 to blast through my levels a lot faster. So it is a case of working on which one is going to be more beneficial to your game. For those who like flying through the space quite fast, you got the warp speed one. Stacks with Stamets original mighty. Oh yeah, that's the other artifact. So warp speed increase of 600%. So it's like in this war, watching 300 lines fly around with their Voyagers with speed crews. They die out bloody fast. So adding that 600% warp speed to it, Jesus Christ, they're going to be hard to get away from. So, just trying to have a look at some of the epics as well, see what we've got. So we've got reduces true critical damage. Yeah, 9% again, but then again, it is an epic. But yeah, I'm just really, it's like I'm looking at a lot of these and I just think, is there any use to that for these? But I mean, it comes down to what you personally think and where you think it fits into your game as well. So, right. So, so I jump back into the game. Right. Right. So, is there any other questions that anyone wants to bring up? Okay, so let's have a look at this one. This one I should think. Yeah, you usually get a critical on this one. Oh, it's the Trait XP one as well. Ooh, that's nice. So I'm just building up that Trait XP now, so I can actually start getting some of these maxed out. Zulu. Oh, for God's sake. Defense. Eric. Why do women take so long to get ready? Let me think. Why do women take so long to get ready? You know, as much as I can stand here and try to answer that question, I genuinely don't know the answer. The only thing I can think of is think of the next question they always ask you. Does my ass look big in this? They want to make sure they look perfect. Yes, it does, yeah. If you're brave enough to say that to them. I mean, some of the women I know nowadays, well, if you turn around and said that to them, they'll probably punch you for it. But then again, I'm probably liable to get a few that will just turn around and say, thanks for being honest. And then storm off crying. Are we alone? Well, no, you're never alone. There's always going to be somebody around somewhere. Whether it's just walking down the street or, yeah, always in your mind. So if you really wanted to go further with that, they're in your heart as well. So, but if you're on about the extraterrestrial side of things, personally, on my opinion, I don't think we are alone. I can't see how we would be the only form of life in the universe, but on that, I'm a little bit more of an optimistic with that one. So I don't know if it's because of it being a Trekkie or just generally what sat there thinking, there's got to be some other life out there. So let's see what we get in these loot. Ooh. So how did everyone also find the quiz that they actually gave us? I mean, myself, somebody posted the answers. I just went and literally did them all. So I've not generally actually bloody hell. I've not actually gone through the questions, so let's have a quick gander. But I mean, how did everyone find it? Was it interesting? So, right. If you're going to try and embrace new words, you must try to embrace new ideas. So, this was taken from, let me see if I can remember this one correctly. I can't remember the name of the episode. Do like some of those events, should do more of them. Yeah, I mean, they are pretty good. Especially bringing in the knowledge like this. I mean, this using actual scripture from the episodes. And this one is the one where they encountered that space shuttle that was a year out from its planet, where the advanced civilization on it was dying out due to natural selection. And obviously they had the secondary species, the mink. I can't remember what the original, was it the Volocians or something like that, wasn't it? And obviously hang on, let me just try to think. If you're going to try and embrace new worlds, you must. No, hang on, no, it's not it. That's not that episode. You know, I'm actually generally stumped on this one. It was definitely Phlox who said it. What episode was he said it on? That's an interesting one. I can't remember. I generally can't remember what episode he said this one on. But I do remember the phrase. I think it was something to do with medical, actually, on the ship. I think it was medical on the ship. Let's have a look. This thing's probably going to take a little bit of time to find it, given the fact that it's old. Go away. Right, so if you... Oh, hang on. It's actually got bugging me now where this came from. Going to try to embrace new worlds. Yeah, it's not bringing it up as per usual. Let's put Star Trek in next to it. Here we go. Quotes. Oh, it's Broken Bow. It was a Broken Bow. Hey T, welcome in, buddy. Got to love Scopely putting in G5 rare and up cloaks and turn around and not have ticket events, payout events or loop. Well, another 3 months of no cloak for Santos. Good evening, T. Yeah, I don't know what they've done with the G5 stuff, but hey, Nuts, welcome in. What they've actually done with the G5 ships and all that. But when it comes to the cloaks, I can't actually see the cloaks in my faction store, but the fact that I can see them in the event store says that they've actually been built, but why they've not actually been added to the faction store yet, I don't know. So it's one of those weird ones. But yeah, as for the ticketed events being given materials, I'm kind of happy that they have the materials and the resources, because at least then I'm going to have a little bit extra. But it does beg the question, where's the rest of the loot going to come from? Because they, last few event stores, they were paying out, what, about 14,000 event store loot? Yeah, I think it was about, no, was it 9,000? I think it was about 9,000 event store loot on last couple of ones. So that's what, about 27,000 over the weekend? Or just 27,000? Hertz loots that went not in the tickets. Yeah, it really does. Now, I have heard it said, and I'm not going to confirm who said it because I can't remember where I saw it, but I'm sure I saw somebody say something about Eco saying apparently this month is going to be back-loaded with event store loot. Now, we had this, not the last event store in December. I think it was the one before that, where they backloaded it. It was like really poor at the beginning. They never told us they were going to do that. And then they eventually said, yeah, we're loading it at the back of in the final week. Thanks for telling us. Again, I think this is what's happened. They've not bothered to tell us. I've not seen any big announcement to say this is what's happening. But it would be nice if Scopely would actually tell us that's what's happening. But it's like 5 days in, I'm only at 69,000. And that is a couple of ALBs in it as well. So, they always backloaded the event store. Have they always done it? I know they did it a couple of event store months ago, but I don't recall it last one. But then again, it was the Christmas one last one, wasn't it? So, yeah. You need 800,000 for the clone. Not going to happen without tickets. And forgive me for not believing the backloaded stuff. What gives us a total of 350,000? Yeah. Oh, with stuff, not loot. Yeah. The stuff in the event store, I can't see them expanding it anymore. I really can't. But, I mean, things have been asked for. If they show up, it will be a shock. Because I don't generally think they're going to do it. But, who knows? So, you never know. So, moving back onto this quote then. So, yeah, so now I've actually found the quote. Obviously, it was in the very, very first episode when Phlox came on to Enterprise and was unpacking his stuff. And obviously, Archer was a little bit taken aback about some of the stuff that Phlox had brought onto his ship. So, obviously, Phlox just making the point that, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat, really, would probably be the best analogy to use for it. So, now, question 2. Like I say, I ain't gone through all these. Mantis parts, the bundle is usually available right now. Yeah, there's Mantis parts already in there. So, how many languages was Hoshi able to speak by the end of her career? Now, the answer to this is 86. And if, all honesty, this is the one I literally did not know the answer to. The last one, I do remember the speech. But this one, I generally didn't actually know that she spoke that much by the end of her career. Because I don't know much about her career beyond Enterprise. So, yeah. This one, I would have probably gone through and just started at the top until actually I completed it. So the fact that it was the answers were put in our Alliance's Discord made it a lot easier. But still, 86 languages is quite a lot to speak. Especially when a lot of them are alien. They've got different... what's the word she used? Conjugations. So a lot of different things like that. So question 3 then is yeah, and will be some of Phlox's degrees are heptomology, psychiatry, dentistry, and botanical pharmacological. Now, again, this is another one I actually didn't know the answer to, which was, gee, shocker, Pegasus doesn't actually know something. Even though I have watched every single episode of Enterprise, this was probably mentioned one where I just sort of like turned off it in it. So I can't even remember which episode this was mentioned in. So, yeah. Something tells me it was said in a mess hall scene when he was talking about himself, probably early on in the first season, as a guess. But, yeah. Yes, the Mantis parts are in the event store, nuts. They are in the event store. So, question 4 then is, what species once captured Hoshi Sato? Well, that was the Xindi. That was after the reptilians and the insectoids commandeered the super weapon and took it from New Sindus, and they was in a bit of a fight going through the system with Enterprise and the arboreals, humanoids, all fighting against the insectoids and the reptilians. And then the reptilians beams Sato directly off the bridge because they needed her to crack a third code, because as a security measure For the super weapon, they needed 3 Xindi codes to activate the weapon. They probably could have got away with having all 5, but so they wanted to crack the aquatic code. I would have thought maybe arboreals or the humanoid codes would have probably been a lot easier to crack than the aquatics, because the aquatics came across to me as the species of the Xindi that were more grounded, they deliberated more over things, patience, not too rash. So it's not in your store. Okay, that's weird. I say it should be in your store, because I mean it's in my store. I generally thought it would be all rounder. So then question 5, when the whole crew was in stasis for 4 days, which member of the crew needed Phlox? And that was T'Pol. Now, let me think. There was... Hang on a minute. I don't recall Phlox ever having T'Pol out. I think it was more of a hallucination. I think it was a hallucination. It was passing through... it was passing through that bloody converted space. No, he was out. Yeah, no, that actually makes a lot of sense on that one for describing the aquatics, due to the fact that fish are actually quite old. So, but I know Porthos was with Phlox. Yeah, I don't recall T'Pol being. I think T'Pol was an hallucination. I'm sure she was an hallucination. She was out with Phlox. Okay. I'll have to rewatch that episode, because I'm sure she was under stasis, but yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I'll go along with it if she was out. T'Pol was going crazy. All right. Okay. I'll have to look up that one. I'll do it after the stream. I'll have a look at it. So, but no, thank you for that one. It was in his head. I have, as we were playing Stfc. Okay. Right. Keep forgetting this is not a bloody proper touchscreen. It's got a bloody buttons on it. If I can get it to... Right. So... Yeah, bloody... Right, so... Enterprise... Crew... In... simple word, and I can't even bloody remember how to spell it. S-I-S. Doctor's orders. Phlox and Commander T'Pol guide the ship through an area of dangerous space. Season 3, Episode 16, directed by Bolana Torres, or as we actually known, Roxanne Dawson. Duties. Yeah, while investigating noise, he encounters Subcommander Topal, who is carrying out duties while the human crew is sedated as a Vulcan, enjoying the quiet contemplation. She commits to spending some time with Phlox for a meal. Oh yeah, because Phlox had to put himself into stasis as well. Yeah, here we go. Says here, he wakes Archer, then escorts Topal to her room, only to find her sleeping there. That's why we have hazard space for the anomalies they keep passing through. Yeah. Yeah, so Topal was actually hallucination. She was a hallucination. But if I remember correctly as well from that one, because now it's jogging my memory more, he did say it was healthy for a Denobulan to hallucinate while they're on their own. It's in periods of isolation. So, yeah, I mean, I did kind of think that she was there. But, yeah, so, yeah, interesting. It's amazing how much stuff you do generally forget when you don't actively watch those more often. I'm more like DS9 and TNG and Voyager. So they're the quizzes. So now, Nuts, you were saying that the Mantis parts are not in your store, but yeah, I'm sure there was in mine. Voyager, Monavine. Yeah, Mantis parts. So I've got them in my store. So it's strange the fact that they're not in yours. I'd probably put a ticket into Scopely about that one. I mean, you're only limited to 10, so it's not really any big loss. All right. So, so is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? Anything that you want to have a look at? Nuts, have you got a crew that you want to throw at me for Silent Enemy? Nope, I have a Mantis. Okay. Yeah, Nuts, I know you like to throw in crews every now and again. So have you got a crew for Silent Enemy that you want to throw in? You're running the Severus crew. Okay, how are you finding the Severus crew? Because you're Ops 46, aren't you? Because for some reason I can't get on with the Severus crew. Are you running full synergy? You haven't had time to run a lot. Oh, okay, then that's fine. Even I've not done a lot of it at the minute. So I'll probably crack on with more of it tomorrow. Get a few more tokens and then do a bit of a run on it. Oh, 44, you get 4 kills. Ah, right, yeah, so you're still in the first system then, aren't you? The 41 system. So, yeah, so you won't be taking on the hostiles that I'm taking on at the minute. So, yeah, I mean, the Severus crew probably work better in there. Yeah, so you're in here, aren't you then, Nuts, when you're doing it? I mean, it's nice the fact that they made these systems as well, mining systems. So if you really wanted to go mine some materials, and they've actually put all 3 types in. So that was nice of them. So, okay. So what we'll do then is we'll wrap up there. Thank you everyone for coming to join us. So, and thank you for that crew, the Janeway crew. I think that's a crew I have heard bounce around a few times as well. You ran a crew with Picard and Trip. So, yeah, so you use the Enterprise E Picard, Enterprise E Data and Trip. How do you find that one? Quickly, just before we go. It takes time to type on a cell phone. Yeah, I usually have that problem as well, Nuts. I take it you're at work. So I'll just give you time to write your answer. I look at the amount of critical hits and thought Gala and Trip, and yeah, from what I've heard, Gala's not going to help you with this one. Troy, lower critical damage first. Yeah, I say Troy there, but I think I can't remember who said. Oh, I think it was Spartan who was saying about Trip being a higher tier, because I've only got a tier 1 at the minute for Troy. But I mean, yeah, I mean you could sing Troy on below deck. So, but right, okay then, guys. Thank you for joining me. Sorry, it has been a couple of weeks since I've done a live stream. Obviously, as you all know, with medical side of things through myself and the family, but all seems to be going well so far. So we're back on live. So I will be looking at doing various videos. I do need to redo the Meridian video because someone made a comment about the fact that I didn't mention something in regards to Meridian, but this month will definitely be the month ideally to get the Meridian video done while it's in the event store. So I will be doing that as well, because obviously with the increase of the isogen nodes as well. So just basically pointing out there, showing the new mining times and everything. Get some lemons. Yeah, I'm not. I get the lemonade and I'll boil it with some honey usually. But anyway, so I do have that, and there is a couple of videos that I want to try and look through my list and see what that needs re-updating. But if there is any videos that you would like me to do, please drop them in the comment section down below, or drop them in the Discord, and I shall look into getting them done. But until then, thank you for joining me. I'm Admiral Pegasus. This is the Pegasus Show live. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next one. Goodbye.